So this is VSAUCE's first video in 2 years, and it's just all the ghosts you will be. It's a bit spooky. On theme, though. On theme, low-key. Let's go.
Hey, VSAUCE, Michael here. A single piece of refined flour is, on average, just 82.67 microns wide.
I know what that means. I know what that
bag
means.
of flour contains about 2.7 billion individual specks of flour dust. Now, if each of those particles were a person, 3 bags could represent every single human alive on Earth today.
Okay.
8.1 billion itty-bitty things.
8 billion? 8 billion? When did we hit the 8s? We've been in the 8s for a long time. What's going on? When did we hit the 8s? That's what I want to know. Because I feel like we were 7 for so long. You know?
Are you under 30 years old?
Yes.
Is a question that could roughly divide
Yes, I
everyone
am.
alive today in half. The yeses and the nos.
I am,
But can you
but
imagine
I'm also bald.
a second question that could then divide both of those groups
So, you know.
in half? Well, if so, and if you kept doing that, after just 33 questions, you would be left with more than 8 billion groups, each containing just one person.
Only
In other
33
words, out of
questions?
everyone alive today, we could pinpoint a specific individual. For example, you.
Only
with just
33 questions?
33 yes or no questions. What would those questions be? Do they even exist?
Nobody knows.
We don't know.
Oh.
But we do know that every
Lit.
year, about this many people die. A little bit more than a quarter cup.
That's not a lot of people. That's not a lot of people. A quarter cup out of 3 bags of flour is not a lot, low-key. That is not, it just can't be. That's a ton? No way. Out of the whole population, like, it's relative, right? Like, relative to the entire population, that's not a lot of people. That's not a lot, like, relative to the population. A quarter? Like, think how many quarter cups are in. Daily?
Cup. But about twice as many as that are born.
See?
But how
We're
many people
growing.
have ever been
We're
born?
growing.
This many.
Yeah, I don't think it was daily. I think, was it daily? Maybe.
117 billion. But out of all of these people, out of everyone
All
who has
time?
ever existed, this is how many you will ever meet. You are a stranger
I'm one of those for y'all, by the way. I'm one of those dots. Yep.
to your own species. This is a video about how you will be forgotten.
Just
It's
think about
the
that.
ghosts that surround us.
I'm one
and
of
how
those
they're getting
flower
closer.
dots. Okay, the
Our
ghosts.
journey begins 2,500 kilometers above the surface of the
What are the
sun.
chairs doing?
There, a hot layer of ionized gas begins its reach millions of kilometers out into space. It's called the solar corona. And normally, it's outshone by the rest of the sun because it gives off just 1/1,000,000th as much light. But during an eclipse, it can be seen. When you are eclipsed, your own sort of corona will remain as well. The memories
Yellow guy
people
scratching
have
his
of
chin,
you,
head
your
nod.
treasure and junk, emails and texts you sent, the fact that
I
your
know this.
child has
I'm
a
aware.
nose like yours, every appearance you made in the background of a stranger's photo, those are all traces of you that shine while you're alive, but can also continue long after you're gone.
All right,
Douglas
valid.
Hofstadter called them your solar corona.
My
I love that phrase
solar
because it makes a
corona.
cosmological phenomenon personal by
Coronavirus?
literally including you. How long will you be here?
This
Well,
going in
that's
one ear,
why
out the
I
other?
made
No,
this
I'm
clock. It tells
I'm
the
aware.
time, but it also tells your time.
My
Just
time?
answer a few questions, and then, when it's ready, push the red button.
Okay.
And the clock will begin counting down the seconds you have left to live, approximately.
restate
Now, whenever you
everything.
want, you
Well,
can
I'd
switch
have to
it
study it.
show
You
the
know,
time, but that's not
I don't.
nearly as
I
fun.
can't restate
Also,
it because
this clock never forgets.
y'all aren't
If
on
you
the
take
same
away
level.
its power, it'll go dark, but it's still thinking about you. Next time you plug it in, it will pick right back up where it should be.
Whoa.
Now, if you would like a practical, retro memento mori,
Whoa.
you can pre-order one of these now.
I do like that. I'm
Omnis
gonna buy one of
Monument
those.
Ultima Nacat is Latin, and it refers to these passing seconds. It means each of these wounds, the last kills. Mox
Okay.
Nox means soon
Mox Nox.
it will be night.
Mox
And
Nox.
it will. But while this is ticking down,
Soon it will be dark time. Mox Nox. Soon it will be dark time. That's lit. It's dark time right now where I'm at.
something else is ticking up. the number of ghosts in the world. Your nominal ghost is your name.
My ghost?
It's out there representing you whether you're there or not.
Glitz?
It won't haunt the world forever, though.
Glitz is out there.
As we've often been reminded, you die twice. Once when your heart stops beating, and then again, usually sometime later, when your name is spoken for the last time.
Aware.
But whose name has been remembered the longest? Well, signed here on this 5,000-year-old tablet is the oldest written name we've ever found.
I'm about to decipher this really quick. I'm about to decipher this name really quick. So, see right here we have a cigarette. This is the butt of the cigarette. This is the cigarette. Right here we have an arrowhead. Okay, arrowhead with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 notches. Okay. 14 notches on the arrowhead, and it's got a support system right here. Okay, this is the family. This is the family name of the arrowhead with the 14 notches that comes after the cigarette. Okay, okay. So I think it's Johnny. I think it's Johnny. Thoughts? I think it's probably that.
Kushum.
I was close. I was close. Now, Kushum. If you think about it, this is a joint right here, right? This is a joint with some marijuana in it, Kush, and then this is an arrowhead which shows masculinity and hunters. Okay? Masculinity, hunters, a man's job back in the day. Not so much anymore, but a man's job back in the day. Kush, him. Kush, him. Joint with marijuana and arrowhead to show masculinity. Kush, him.
First named character we know in the written history of humanity. Probably. It's not entirely clear whether Kushum is the name of a person or just the title of an office holder. You know, if you want to be really sure, a generation or two later, this tablet was made. It contains 3 names, Gal Sol and...
I'm not picking up what that one's putting down. I'm going to be completely honest. This one lost me. This one lost me right here. We've got a couple of lines. We got a Dorito chip with a line through it as well. This one lost me a little bit.
2 people he enslaved.
Better
in Pop X and a woman named Sokulger.
Those also in Pop X in Sokulger. Hey, at least they had names.
These individuals are the reigning champs of avoiding the second death. And with archival practices and technologies being what they are today, your name could conceivably last just as long as these have already.
Glitz XO is going to last forever, by the way.
If you want your ghosts to last longer, it helps to bend the truth a little bit. Toby Jukanov built this interactive globe that shows the most famous person born in every location.
Jesus?
Fame
Saddam Hussein? Saddam Hussein.
How long their article is, how many languages it's in, how many visits it gets per day, stuff like that. By the way, out of everyone alive right now, about this many of us, almost exactly a quarter teaspoon, are mentioned on Wikipedia. Now let's zoom in on Stillwell, Kansas. Ooh, hey there, good looking.
I'm in Rhode Island. I am.
I wasn't born in Stillwell. I grew up there. I lived there from ages 5 to 18, but I was born in Kansas City. For a while, a lot of things online said that I was born in Stillwell, so that's probably how I wound up here. But should I correct it? What's more important, the truth or
that's where you grew up?
Lie
you know what I'm saying?
That prolongs and enhances my nominal ghost? Maybe the truth. Because even if my name is forgotten, images of me may stick around. And that is your second ghost. Your likeness. Figurative portrayals of what you look like. Now, we have no idea what most people who have lived looked like. Long ago,
likeness.
No records were made. Eventually, some were and have survived.
I know where we're going with this.
Earliest known person
I know where we're going with this.
Where, like, we know what they look like.
We're going to an NIL deal.
It's probably Gudea. He was an
Gudea.
ancient Sumerian ruler, and 27 4,000-year-old statues of him have been found
Bro.
in southern.
His aura is unmatched. Look at him. Look at the hat he has on. Look at the nose. Look at his hands. This is my new pose. This is my dead ass. This is my new pose. That's what I'm doing from here on out. That's how I'm posting for everything. Yeah, our ghost is an NIL deal. That's how we keep our name alive, is we have to sign to a brand.
Iraq. They stand out not just for their craftsmanship, but also for the fact that earlier depictions of human beings.
Whoa! 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 What is going on? What is going on with this? What is going on with this? I'm not saying I've got a type.
Forms are either more abstract.
I'm not saying
or
I've got a type,
generalized, but
but
because
that
these
might be it.
depictions of Gudea
That
are
might be
more
it.
realistic, are so similar to each other,
You
and have been
downloaded that
found spread
pose?
so widely,
Yep.
it's tenable that they're similar to the actual face of the actual individual as he
The
appeared in
chairs
life,
are throwing me
the
off.
first known illustrated person in our history.
I fuck with that pose.
Even if your figural ghosts don't stick around as long as Gudeas
Figural
have,
ghosts.
things that look kind of like you might.
I'm not saying
I'm
I got a
talking
type,
about
but
your genetic
I
ghost, your personal genomic variation.
I've got a
that can be
pattern.
especially fecund. Now, interestingly, even if your progeny are especially fecund, your genetic ghost probably won't stick around that long.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Just how much of your unique genetic code winds up in your grandkids, for example, depends partly on chance.
Okay.
It could be anywhere from 23 to 27%.
Valid.
Your great-grandkids will only contain 9 to 14%
Whoa.
of you. Your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren will on average be no more similar to you than you are to any stranger.
Unless yep, squelchy farts. No, he knows what I'm about to go to. Unless you start dating your sister, okay, or your cousin. Unless, all right, we can make those numbers grow. We can make those percentages grow. I'm just saying.
It is at that distance that it becomes
If it's a competition, we could win.
possible to be genetically left behind, for absolutely no personal chunks of your genome to be present in anyone. More than 70% of your ancestors from 11 generations ago aren't in you at all. So
11 generations? 11? How long ago is that? Like what? 1200s? 11 generations, 1200s? Or is it even further back than that? I don't know. I'm not good with math.
you're not so much the genetic foundation on which your progeny sit as you are their baby teeth, a thing that served a purpose but was destined to then fall out and be set aside. Where should you be buried if you want to become a fossil?
Ooh,
Fossils
good question.
last a long time. Your legacy could
I'm trying to be a fossil.
representing our species in a cool bony pose in a museum millions of years from now.
Yes.
Well, as it turns out, fossilization, the mineralizing of bones into rocky ghosts, is an exceedingly rare occurrence. Bill Bryson puts it this way: less than 1/10 of 1% of a species is ever lucky enough to become fossilized, which means that millions of years from
I'm
now,
that 1/10.
all that will be left of every single
my
person
words.
alive today in the US will probably just be about
Mark my
60
fucking words.
fossilized bones.
I'm that
not
1/10.
even one full human skeleton. The best way to improve your chances of becoming a fossil are to be buried rapidly and deeply with no coffin under the seafloor of a still mass of water at low elevation where sediment deposits will be swift and fine and oxygen levels low. Some locations that fit this bill are parts of the Black Sea, the Gulf of Mexico where the Mississippi disgorges, and the mangrove swamps along the northern coast of Australia. But even then, there's risk, right? Earth is an active, churning rock, and erosion can wear you away. Metamorphic activity could
I'm taking
melt you
notes.
back down. So
Trust
if
me.
you want to be a trace,
You're
for
about to see a
long
video on this
time,
tomorrow.
Leave. The
Whoa.
oldest unchanged piece of Earth wasn't even found on Earth. It was found on the Moon, where geological activity is less brutal. A
Wait a second. Wait a second. The oldest unchanged piece of Earth was found on the moon? Isn't that a little bit suspicious? Isn't that a little bit suspicious? Isn't that just a little bit sus? That's how I'm looking at it. That yellow guy, that's how I'm looking at it right now. I don't know. I don't like that. That's kind of sus. That's a little bit sus, I'm gonna be honest.
Monolith engraved with your name and biography buried on the moon would be a good idea. Except in, 5 to 10 billion years, our sun will expand into a red giant, engulfing the Earth and moon, likely destroying
I'd be
them
worrying
forever,
about this,
so
low-key.
A copper disc
It's always on my mind.
coated in aluminum and gold floating through space would be even better. The golden records aboard the Voyager spacecraft could exist for trillions of years. They
Whoa.
could conceivably still be legible even after the last star goes dim. But your final type of ghost will be there too. It's what I call your ripple
You're working on
ghost,
something?
the
I'm also working on
diffused
something because I've been
domino
worrying
effect
about it so
of all of
much.
your
I
actions.
actually thought about it
There will be
today.
people,
It's on my
for
whiteboard.
example, a century from now who could enjoy the shade of a tree you planted without ever wondering who put it there. The butterfly effect effectively guarantees us all a sort of anonymous, minute immortality. Just by being
That's
born,
Flyboy Jonah,
technically,
obviously.
you changed
What are
the
you talking about?
universe irrevocably. The tiny and subtle but very real way your mass affects the planet Saturn right now will contribute in some extremely small way to exactly how and when its rings collapse.
Ooh.
When the universe enters its heat death and it's the same temperature everywhere, the arrangement of matter in the universe will be the way it is because you existed. There
That's
will be
lit.
no minds to observe it, so you won't be
What he's saying is I matter.
but you won't be annihilated.
Hell yeah.
But like,
Hell yeah. I knew it.
so what?
I always knew it.
Oh, I've got ghosts
Always
that stick
fucking-
around. Newsflash, buddy, I'm not my ghosts. Okay, first of all, yeah, that's exactly why
I
talk of
love
fame
Phase
and
Adapt.
legacy gets
I
so
love Phase
fizzly.
Adapt. He's
For
so
what?
lit.
I won't be
He's one of my
around to
favorite
enjoy
streamers
it,
right
and
now.
eventually no one will be. But secondly, that's actually a pretty good definition of
I did know
the
that.
self.
I did know
you
that, yeah.
are everything you take with you when you die.
Matter cannot be
Your
created.
secrets,
Head
the
ass.
things you could have done or said but never did. That's what you are. Now, you could desperately try to do as much as you can and leave as much on the table as possible, but life is short. Too short? Well, Derek Parfit has pointed out that the brevity of life probably has nothing to do with its meaning. If your life
True,
was
sure.
twice as long, would it have twice as much meaning? If we
No.
were all immortal, would the meaning of life suddenly be obvious?
No.
No. Meaning
No.
is separate from the sheer participation we crave.
Yep.
We just want to keep playing this game. And there's never been more game to
sometimes
play.
I don't wanna play.
Staggering amounts of what
Sometimes
we
I
want
don't really wanna
experience
play,
have been
low-key. I
tamed
can't
into
lie. I
beasts,
can't lie.
So lightweight and so fast that, like ghosts, they can pass through walls.
Party trick as
The soy
statement.
bomb only lasted 36 seconds, but
Ooh.
because a digital ghost of
The
it
fuck you-
lingers in Earth's
what's a
largest
soy
haunted
bomb?
house, an average of 40 people have seen it every
Oh.
day for the last 30
That's
years.
a soy bomb.
Old music started outselling new music for the first time in 2015. Today, we each
Me and
spend an
VSAUCE,
average of
it's
7
just
hours
because
and
we're
3
bald.
minutes a day in a haunted
Y'all
house
learn.
full of avatars
Y'all soon
and
see.
messages from the living and dead alike. People and ideas and art and the past have become not just
It's gonna come for
accessible,
y'all.
but accessible. We are
Ooh.
on these ghost portals so much it's become pretty
Ooh.
much
That's big knowledge right there. Accessible. Accessible, but also accessible. Mmm. What are we talking about? Vsauce came back with bars. Hold
the
on,
only way anyone
Vsauce.
finds companionship anymore. For crying out loud, more people on this planet own cell phones than toothbrushes.
That's a problem. That's a problem we're not talking about. What do you mean? What do you mean? That more people own cell phones than toothbrushes? Why aren't we brushing our teeth? Why don't we own those? Why don't we own those, but we own a phone? Why we got the hot hose hit breath while we talking on the phone every day? We need to wrap that up. We need to fix that. That one I'm concerned. I'm honestly, I'm concerned.
Documentality is the word Maurizio Ferraris gave to his ontology of traces.
Documentality?
But it's also a great word
That's a
for
lit
the
word. I
extent
like
to
that
which
one. That's a new
day-to-day
one.
life
Never
in
heard
a
of that one.
society happens as documentation.
Okay.
In a society of high documentality, nearly every
Okay.
transaction, click, step, every memory, everything said or done is
New
vulnerable
lingo?
to recording or
Documentality.
simply
Yeah.
comes into the world already pre-remembered. Not as an ephemeral oral exchange or a haphazard
Ephemeral.
note, but as a high-fidelity, time-stamped, cataloged artifact. In such a world, it shouldn't be surprising if it starts to feel like there are more things you've said than things.
What is his shirt? What is that? I've been looking at it, but I don't get it. I don't get what it is. It's like there's some arrows. I can't read. I can't read it. I can't read it. Hold on. It didn't make it better. It didn't really make it better. I don't know.
Things you could say, more ways things have been than ways things could be.
Yeah.
The future isn't what it used to be. But don't get it twisted. Complete documentality is far from here. As I've mentioned before, our estimates of the current human population have about a 2 to 3% margin of error. That means that about this many people may or may not exist. And at any given moment in the US alone, there are about 40,000 deceased bodies whose identities are unknown. When Steve
That's a
Fawcett
lot.
failed to return to the
That's a
Flying
lot.
Ranch in 2007, search and rescue efforts sent to find him discovered 8 previously unidentified airplane crashes that weren't him, but had been out there for, in some cases, decades.
8 is a
And when
numbers are, stay with me now. Numbers are relative, right? So when we're talking about $8 is not really a lot, right? Like $8 is not a lot of money. But 8 plane crashes, we're talking about a very large number at this point. We can't be messing around with 8 plane crashes that are unidentified. How do you just find 8 plane crashes, right? 8 pieces of chicken, not that crazy, right? 8 dead bodies in one backyard, that's a problem. We've got a problem. How did this not happen? How did they not find them? How did they not know? They were hitting the Mayday. Like in Incredibles.
authorities searched for Gabby Petito, they found her and the bodies of at least 8 other people they weren't even looking for.
8 again? Something's
We are not a documented species.
Something's wrong here.
We are a bunch of animals walking in and out of rooms. That said, something's changed. The last time a body was interred in the tomb of the unknown soldier was after the Vietnam War, but it was removed in 1998 after DNA testing connected it to a name, Michael Joseph Blassie. In 2014,
he should have been in the tomb of the known soldier.
Or security cam footage.
He should have been in the tomb of the known soldier.
Between Michelle Carter and Conrad Roy, because they had these thousands of text messages. Despite living just 35 miles apart, Carter and Roy's relationship occurred almost entirely through text. So these are not pieces of their relationship.
That's weird.
They're not evidence of the whole story.
Promise.
These messages aren't missing.
Get out of
the
my
glances,
DMs, brother.
The nods, the
What the
way
fuck?
he or she said it. This is all they each
You're gonna be a
saw.
ghost viewer?
And
Have
we
a good one,
it
man.
all.
Thanks for hanging
An
out.
entire human relationship that happened
React to
as
SpongeBob theory?
and still is
Ooh, I can do that tomorrow.
undying documents.
That sounds fun. I'll do that tomorrow.
They're all online. Just a few taps
I'll
deep
find
in
the video,
world's
though, right now,
largest
so that I'm
ocean
on the
of
right one.
documentation. And we just keep filling it up, turning more and more of what we do
Harry
and see
Styles?
into ghosts,
Harry
not just to
Styles?
remember, but to experience.
I couldn't tell.
When we instinctively watch events through our phones, it's not that we aren't living in the moment, it's that we are.
Yes.
Today, to be in the moment, you have to be fully
phone.
in the moment. Every
Where's it
part
at?
of you, even the eye, you have to charge, and the mind you share with others. See what's happening? We are not just getting more ghosts, we are beginning to live as ghosts, as an account, a like,
Wait.
a post, a view, and it's great. We're
A
spared
TikTok
the humilities
page.
of confrontation, and to be an image
With
is to be
240,000
something.
followers on it.
Frederick Douglass and
Specifically.
Sojourner Truth knew this. They had photographic images of themselves printed up. To own and control and sell your own figural ghost meant that you had power. But today, being a ghost surrounded by other ghosts causes a certain kind of newfangled anxiety. In his 1985 Amusing Ourselves to Death, Neil Postman describes what he calls the information action ratio. Now, even though this book predates the World Wide Web, it may as well have been written about it. Let me ask you a modern version of a question he asks in here. How often does something you see on social media cause you to alter your plans for the day, or to take some action you would not otherwise have taken, or provide you with insight into some problem you are required to solve?
How often does something I see on social media affect my life, my day-to-day life? Now, none. Well, that's not true. It wouldn't be none. Very little now. Before, I used to... Oh yeah, I guess watching things, eating things, play things. No, that's pretty true. That's deep. That's deep. You know, we're kind of living in a Black Mirror episode, but here's the thing. It's worse than a Black Mirror episode if you think about it, right? It's low-key kind of worse than a Black Mirror episode because it's real, and there's, like, no point. Like, at least with the Black Mirror episode, there's, like, a lesson to be learned. We're just doing this shit for the love of the game currently. We're just out here living like this in the enjoyment of it. It's kind of lit, though. It's kind of based, if you think about it. But it's also kind of fucked up.
When everything persists, irrelevance takes over. But the constant scroll of doom and pleasure and distraction isn't just irrelevant, is it? No, it's truly a ghost that can pass right through you.
Ooh,
you can sit and
Outlast.
stare for an hour and not remember a single thing you were served.
That's how I'd be looking at night.
We don't do that because it feels good. We do it because our minds want to be unsettled.
Ooh.
A never-ending scroll of decontextualized news and horror and comedy and family and backflips isn't some unholy modern abomination of nature. It is exactly the niche we evolved to thrive in.
He's cooking.
Oh no, my brain evolved to eat berries in a cave. No.
Nope.
It evolved to reach the lushness of Southeast Asia and then cross the Wallace Line. Not because it had to, and not because it could, but because what laid beyond was next. And we've got autoplay on. Hey, let's build a thing that floats and we could fit in it. We could call it a boat. Huh? What's that?
Wait.
Where will it take us? Away.
Ooh.
We are not the universe experiencing itself. We are the universe ignoring itself. We are the universe looking for something else. In order to be here for long, we needed to not be here for long. I don't...
What? In order to be here for long, we can't be here for long. What are you talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't think it's the risk or the challenge that motivates
That's why
us.
I have commitment
Good
issues.
Stories and curiosity and adventure are the icing on the cake we really desire, unsettledness. Not knowing what's going to happen next can be exciting.
Jump scare. Outlast.
I think in the same way that long necks were selected in giraffes because no one was eating the way up high leaves, and in the same way that white fur was selected in polar mammals because no one was eating snow, imagination was selected in humans because no one was eating possibilities. As soft apes in the midst of climatic change, those who survived didn't wait for natural selection to provide an answer. No, they relied, as we still do today, not on evolution, but on resolution, on picturing and manipulating an analog world inside the theater of their own minds. Up here, we can imagine things that aren't hypotheticals, the distant past and future, the way things might be. We can recognize that
VSAUCE might actually be the thinker. Like he might be the,
if there's no water here,
the
we
one.
can bring it to us. The world is not our home. It's fuel for the fire up here where we really live. But because of that fire, we have made the whole world our home. Our ancestors are those hominids whose resolving never resolved. Now, sure, binge watching TV or scrolling a social media feed are pretty different than crossing the Bering Strait, but they're still unsettling.
How much though?
Right? What's going to happen next? Each next swipe brings you something different. Like the cognitive niche we built for ourselves, it never resolves. But unlike the travails
I've
of
also
our
spent
ancestors,
more time watching
there's
One
so
Piece
much
than my
less
ancestor
danger.
did
We can witness
crossing the
and
Bering Strait,
interact
so
safely from home.
you know, which
like
one's harder?
Pieces of luggage being moved at light speed without moving at all. The internet is a bounty of torques and velleities, pushes that spin us around but don't move us anywhere, and wishes not strong enough to inspire action. We're not amusing ourselves to death.
You spitting.
We're amusing ourselves to life. A longer, scarier life. And as always, thanks for watching.
That's it. He's just looking at me now. He's just looking at me, and I'm looking at him. We might kiss? Oh no.
Don't forget to pre-order your very own death clock. After you've answered its questions and pressed the red button, the button stays locked down. It cannot change. It's locked to your soul, to your life. Unless you want to give it to someone else or you made a mistake or something, in which case you can reset it by just poking this into the hole in the back.
Now, you know what would be scary about this is what if you really did die whenever it ran out of time?